Today we are going to discuss the Bowen coat of arms. But before we get started, we wanted to let you know that we offer genealogy research service at our website. Please visit us at coadb.com. First blazon is Azure lion rampant within an orle of roses, or crest and arm couped at the elbow and erect habited sable cuffed ermine holding in the hand proper a chaplet of laurel vert. One source states that it's for the Bowens of Oxfordshire, England, but I was able to find no connection. The other is from Bowen of Llwyngwair in Nevern, and I guess I'm going to obliterate the pronunciation of some of these Welsh estate names. They own this estate since the 1600s, and they also acquired Castell Gorfod in Carmarthenshire following the marriage of George Bowen, who died in 1810, and the family traces their ancestry back to the 11th century. Next there was Thomas Ap Owein, who was the progenitor of the Bowens of Ballyadams in Ireland. He was of ancient Welsh descent. Sable, a chevron between three spearheads. Argent points guti de sang, a crescent for difference. And here we see his son was Robert Bowen of Ballyadams in Ireland, who died in 1621 and was Provost Marshall for Leinster and East and West Meath in Ireland. And we said he was the son of John Thomas from the previous slide. He had a son named Sir John Bowen, who died in 1641, who had a son, William Bowen, who were both of Ballyadams. This one is the same with a crescent, I believe. It says it's for John Bowen of Walterstown in County Meath, Ireland, who died in the early part of the 17th century. And I have a note here that says, I assume this is Sir John Bowen, mentioned in the previous slide, who died in 1641. Another not stated with the stag sagent. And, sorry, just pause here. This one is for Milford in Mayo, Ireland, granted in 1812. I have a note here that says, was this Crossdale Bowen Miller, born 1802? Another for Bowen of Drogheda, Ireland. I wasn't able to quite find this one, but I believe it's related to the following individual. There was George Bowen, Esquire, born 1782 of Drogheda and of Lawrencetown House in Guildford, County Down. He was a captain in the Royal Navy, and the son of James Bowen, who died in 1796. There was also Edward Bowen, born 1780, a judge, lawyer, and politician, educated at Drogheda Academy in Ireland, who went to Lower Canada in 1797. Bowen of Kettle Hill in Swansea in Glamorgan, Wales. There was George Bowen, Esquire of Kettle Hill, who was sheriff in 1650. He had son John Bowen, Esquire of Swansea, who was one of the 6 members for all Wales in the Barebones Parliament of 1653. It was also borne by Richard Bowen, officer in the Royal Navy who served in the American and French Revolutionary Wars. He had siblings James Bowen, George, and Thomas, all who served in the Royal Navy. They were sons of a maritime trader, and James had a son, Rear Admiral John Bowen, who was a colonial administrator in Tasmania. Here we see Captain Richard Bowen, and then we see his brother James, and I believe another member, this might be Rear Admiral John Bowen. Next, vert a stag's head and neck coupe proper, crest a stag trippant proper. Wasn't able to find who this was granted to. If you know, please let us know in the comments. And was confirmed to Charles Hartpole Bowen, Esquire. In 1862 of Courtwood in Queens County, Ireland. He was the son of Charles Bowen and Martha Hartpole, possibly descended from Rice Bowen, who acquired Upton Castle in Pembrokeshire, Wales in the 16th century. And the family later settled in Courtwood in Ireland. Here we see the castle, Upton Castle, I believe. Or what castle is this? Yeah. Or I'm sorry, maybe it's Courtwood. I didn't write the name down. Next is a Bowen knot. This is actually the seal of Sir James Bowen, alive in the year 1506, who was the grandson of William Ap Owein. and another for Sir James Bowen of Nevern. 3 Bowen knots. Quarterly coat of arms was borne by George Bowen, Esquire, Justice of the Peace for Pembroke, who was son of James Bevan Bowen, Esquire of Llwyngwair, who was Justice of the Peace and Deputy Lieutenant, who was son of George Bowen. He was also born, according to this source, by the Bowens of Trogerar in Carmarthenshire. There's another arms for them in the next slide, though. William Bowen and James Bowen were both high sheriffs of Cardigan and were of that location. See again, Bowen of Trogerar in Cardigan, Wales, born by Reverend Thomas Bowen, alive in the year 1833, who distinguished himself as an enlightened and successful agriculturalist, and the family was possessed of estates in that county time immemorial, which means for a very, very long time. Another one for Bowen of London, and I have a note here that says there was a Thomas Bowen, Treasury Clerk in London, who was granted a coat of arms on November 1st, 1729. I assume that this is the one. Another gules on a cheap ore line passing Sable. And lastly, there was an arms in Crest in Ireland. Crest was a hand issuing from a cloud and fessus sphere. And I have a note here that says Bowen of Waystown in Dublin. That was a family who bore arms. There was John Bowen, alive in the year 1687, who had son and heir Patrick. And if you enjoyed this video, please visit us at coadb.com. Link in the description. Thank you very much.